Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're not new here, hello, welcome back. Many of you are probably here because you've been following my journey and you know that I am now 1 week and a day post-op of my VSG, or my vertical gastric sleeve, or vertical sleeve gastronomy, gastric sleeve, whatever you want to call it. I had weight loss surgery. I put a poll in my community asking if you wanted this in 1 part or 2 parts, and majority vote was 2 parts. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna focus on the physical part 1 and the mental in part 2. Let's go ahead and get into this video. Before we go into detail, I have decided I'm ready to tell you all my weight. In this journey, I didn't want to share my weight at all. I was just like, nah, I'm gonna keep it to myself. I'm gonna wait until I'm into like the 200s to share my weight. But now that I have my surgery and I'm just gonna continually lose weight, I think I'm gonna go ahead and share now. So my highest weight was 624 pounds. Last week on Tuesday, before I started the surgery, my weight was 462 pounds, and I am 8 days post-op and I am down to 450. I had my first appointment today with my surgeon, my post-op appointment. So yeah, I am currently down to 450. I'm gonna be very honest, physical isn't going to be super positive. I just wanna remind everybody, I'm talking about my experience. I'm not talking about anyone else's experience. So please don't take what I'm saying and think, oh my God, you know, weight loss surgery is awful. No, this is just what I went through. So first thing that was awful, which should probably not be awful, is my medical experience. From the beginning, communication was horrible between the doctor, the nurses, and the hospital. For example, my doctor didn't tell me that before he can approve me for surgery, I had to be on a 1,200 calorie diet. He just told me I had to lose 10% of my body fat, and that was it. I did not find this out until the week before I was approved for my surgery. Luckily, I got on it in a week and was able to get approved within that week. I don't suggest it. I really don't. I know they say, you know, always ask questions because you never know what you need. But also, you got to realize this is my first time in an office. So you got to talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old. I won't be mad. I don't know what's going on here, so you got to let me know. Or today, he wanted me to drink protein shakes the day after I got out of the hospital. Usually, most surgeons have you do it the week after. So you go clear liquids, full liquids, pureed, soft, and then back to regular. Day I got out of the hospital, I'm drinking a protein shake. The milkiness is just making me feel gross. So I switched over to clear protein shakes, and they have 10 grams less, which is 20 grams, which I thought, okay, that's still a lot. I'll have 1 to 2 a day. It'll be fine. Go to the appointment today. This man tells me, no, you're supposed to be having 60 grams a day. When were you gonna tell me this? Those words never came out of your mouth, ever, at any point. He said, well, you're starting pureed liquids next week, so make sure you get 60 grams in each day until that. I'm like, great, thanks. I think the worst communication was with the nurses. Before the surgery, I checked on the pre-authorization for my insurance. Mind you, I work for a health insurance company, so I know how to read these things. And it said outpatient. Outpatient means you're in and out, you're not staying the night, anything like that. So I asked her, am I staying the night? Like what? Like that's my assumption, because you have to watch me after you take out 75% of my stomach. She's like, no, you're not gonna stay the night. I'm like, okay. And so I was like, you know what, I'll ask the doctor. Ask the doctor. She's like, yeah, you're staying the night. I'm like, well, you better tell the nurses that your patients are staying the night, because she obviously doesn't know. Oh my God. And then after the surgery, there was a nurse, the first nurse that was with me, she had never been on the floor before. I guess she worked on the floor below me. Mind you, I was still on the floor with mother and children, like women who just gave birth. So like I wasn't even like I wasn't even a part of what everyone else was on that floor. But I was asking her, can I just have a big thing of ice water? Because the only thing I was really keeping down at that point, which we'll get to a little bit later, was ice water. She's like, sure, do you want ginger ale or a soda? gastric patients cannot have soda. Ever. And I was like, no, no thank you. Just water. And so she brought the water, and then she brought it with a straw. Gastric patients are not allowed to use a straw in the process of getting back to regular food, just because it goes down faster, makes you fuller, more uncomfortable, you're just getting used to your stomach, yada yada. So I'm like, okay, great. She was really sweet though. Like, she had a great bedside manner. When I had to get up and walk, she would walk with me. She was the only nurse who actually got up and walked with me. But anyway, next nurse who comes in, she was like looking around my food tray. She's like, well, where are your ounce cups? I'm like, my what? She's like, your ounce cups. You're supposed to be drinking sips of water out of your ounce cup. I'm like, no one gave me this. No one told me to do this. I was drinking out of the giant thing of ice water because, oh my God. But it wasn't until my very last nurse, who actually had the gastric sleeve, who was literally told me the ins and out of everything. I kid you not. The way she was talking is like she just had it recited. She knew exactly what to do, this, that, and the third, the exercises, the way I needed to move my legs, if I was too much in pain to go walking, certain things I could eat and drink, certain medications that I could take on top of other medications to help with my uncomfortableness. So she was amazing. Within the stay of the hospital was I had to stay an extra night just because I was having issues, wasn't keeping any food down. So they had ordered an x-ray, and the nurses were telling me to not drink anything, which I'm thinking, well, my doctor's telling me I need to stay hydrated, and if I have to drink 4 ounces every hour, I don't think I should stop drinking things for almost 12 hours. My doctor came and checked on me multiple times, as they do, and he has said, oh, so have you been drinking every 15? I was like, no. They told me the x-ray that you ordered, I couldn't drink for multiple hours. And he was like, well, he's like, I'm definitely gonna talk to the nurses. He's like, you're not here for an x-ray. You are still here because we need to have you hold down liquids so we know that you're gonna be able to stay hydrated when we release you. And I was just like, okay. So I ended up still drinking liquids and having the x-ray thing done. They didn't find anything. They just thought it's just because I've never had anything like that before, and I was just in so much discomfort. That's what it was. Because they literally staple your stomach with titanium, I don't know why I did that. Titanium staples all along your stomach. So, you know, I've never had anything like that done. So my body's just like, what the is happening?
God, okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Well, next topic is the experience after surgery. Going in, it's normal. Go to a hospital, they check you in, gotta put on the grippies, you know, that warm foil thing they put over you. I almost fell asleep pre-op because I was just so warm, but doctors were coming in and out, introducing themselves, whatever. You see on TV, you know, about on My 600 Pound Life, they don't show those who have discomfort. They just see them waking up. Some of them are crying, some of them are just like, oh, groggy, whatever, and then a few days after, and then them leaving. They don't show truly what happens in between. The minute I wake up out of surgery, I'm vomiting blood. Just non-stop vomiting blood. I knock back out again. They roll me to my room. Brittany's already in there. And I wake up again and just start vomiting. I felt so bad. She said she has siblings. It doesn't bother her. But like, I'm just vomiting blood. Now, mind you, blood is normal because you just had, again, 75% of your stomach taken out. So there's going to be blood from being cut open. But usually it comes out the opposite end. But my body's like, no, we're going out front. Which honestly I appreciate, because when you're in that much pain, getting up and down just to, you know, poop it out, that sounds awful. It's also very common as a reaction from the anesthesia for any type of stomach procedure. That's what my doctor told me. So I was like, interesting. Ooh, baby, the pain. The first few hours after surgery, I just kept thinking, oh, I regret doing this. This is awful. I've never had surgery like this in my life. I've had mouth surgery twice. Didn't hurt, didn't bother, whatever. But like having part of an organ removed and stapled, oh, Oh, that was awful. It was rough. The gas. Oh, and I don't mean fart gas, kind of. When they go inside your stomach, they poke, for me, they poke 5 holes in, because for the sleeve, it's 5 holes. And in one of the holes, they insert gas in it to bloat you up so they can move the organs around and cut where they need to cut. And so it's not like they're just gonna push you back down to release the air. You have to start releasing that naturally. They do prefer passing gas over burping, just because doing it from the back door means that your stomach is working. I wasn't really passing gas unless I was on the toilet. I was burping more, but it feels like a huge bubble is forming in your chest, and then like it just slowly deflates. Like, it's not fun. It's not fun. I never realized how much I use my stomach muscles. When I had to get up, when I was bending over to reach something, stretching, even pooping. They want you to poop like 3 days after you get out of the hospital, and like, as you know, sometimes you gotta squeeze it out, and even just a little, like, on your oh, my abs. That little it hurts. It really does. It got to one point where I started cleaning and doing things because I couldn't really grasp the concept of dependency, which that'll be in video 2. And I ended up really hurting myself because it just really hurt my stomach bending over, squatting and stuff. And so I think I did 1 or 2 tasks and I was in bed the rest of the day. I ended up getting, where is it? I think it's in the kitchen. It's like a grabber, one of those claw grabber things. I got one of those. I still have stomach pains. They're not gonna go away for a while, weeks, hopefully not months. I also have a lower hanging stomach, which, you know, it pulls, so it is gonna hurt more. But day 8, and it definitely does not hurt like it did from day 1. So I know that I'm healing. Next point, sleep. Ugh. I'm a stomach sleeper, and sleeping is one of my favorite hobbies. I have to sleep on my back between 4 to 6 weeks. Don't get me wrong, I've tried to see, can I do it early? Nope, this hurts like hell, can't do it early. We have a full-size bed, which we usually can fit, cuddle, do whatever, but he moves around a lot, so he just didn't want to kind of just be in my way. I have a couch-less futon in my room, so he sleeps on that. But it's like, you're so used to sleeping with somebody in bed with you, and now it's just empty. One of my biggest things that I'm learning is that I am learning my stomach all over again. This is essentially a new stomach. I can't binge like I used to. I can't overeat. I can't give in to my food addiction ways anymore. I literally physically can't, or I will throw up. Things that I love are probably not gonna sit with me well anymore. I have to learn my hunger and fullness cues all over again. For example, I had chicken broth the other day. I had 3 sips of it. My stomach was in pain. I didn't even feel like a fullness. It was just pain for about 3 hours, and I was just bloated from 3 sips. Speaking of that, learning that pain equals fullness. It could be just because my stomach is still in pain, and once that's gone, I'll have that hunger feeling back. But as of right now, that's what I've identified. In the beginning, I just thought, you know, I do need to drink and sip to hydrate, but also this is really hurting. So I started focusing more on when the pain would come, and it would come right after I would consume something. So that's where we are right now with that. So last point for part 1 of this video. It's very embarrassing, but if you've been on this channel for a while, you know I'm an open book to a lot of things. So, you know, I'm here to share my experiences for those who have similar experiences and don't want to feel alone. One of the things that I'm really experiencing right now is cravings, which again, we'll get into in part 2. But what it's causing me to do is food hoarding.
Oh my gosh.
Brittany and I just got our big girl Costco cards, which is so exciting. I freaking love a Costco. And as we were exploring, I was finding things that I was able to have at the time. Mind you, I was still on the liquid diet at the time. So I was like buying food that I can have when I can have solids, if that makes sense. When I started to realize it was a problem was the other night when Brittany was making chicken gumbo for the house, and we had leftover chicken in the fridge, and it had been almost a week, and I really wanted the chicken with another item that I recently bought. So instead of it going bad, I was like, you know, I'm just gonna put it in the freezer. Mind you, I had already put like 3 or 4 things in the freezer. A few hours later, I see Brittany had one of the packs out for thawing, and I said, oh yeah, sorry, you know, I just wanted it with this. She's like, you know, I can make more. When she said that, it clicked, and I felt so embarrassed. Mind you, she didn't embarrass me, but I just realized that I had let food control me so much. I felt like I had to save this food because I want it. So that's where I'm at physically. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you really want to watch part 2, it is already up on my channel. You can go ahead and click the link that is up here, or it should also be linked down in my description as well, so check that out there. But other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye.